Chosen one, I know a secret about your future. One heaven confirmed today. There's a breakthrough coming so big. It will make everything you've suffered finally make sense. This isn't just a promise. It's a divine transaction already in motion. Don't skip a single word. Because your life is about to change forever. There is no chance about this moment. Divine orchestration brought you here, drawing you by the Spirit at just the right time. Heaven has been watching. How you've kept going, cried, and kept your faith strong. Now the trumpet of freedom is blowing over your life. You are on the verge of a supernatural transfer, a divine exchange where every sacrifice and quiet act of obedience is being turned into a blessing that you can see. One, the tests you had were not meant to break you, but to make you stronger. You've been through the fire and now the gold inside you is ready to shine. The heavens are moving and the doors to God's provision are opening. What seemed to be taking too long is now being delivered. The supernatural supply that kept Elijah alive came from the same God who fed him bread from heaven. Now is the time when divine wealth will find you, where favor will surround you and where people will talk about you in places you haven't even been yet. Deuteronomy 8 verse 18 says that the Lord your God is the one who gives you the power to get rich. Take this word, chosen one. Now that the time has come, the transfer can begin. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose. Join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. Chosen one, what you went through wasn't a mistake. They had to do it. That storm wasn't meant to hurt you. It was meant to change you. Heaven chose that time of year to polish your spirit, take away all your false sense of control, and ground you fully in divine trust. You didn't fall into the fire by accident. God put you through it because He saw something in you that would only come out under stress. The test you had to take wasn't picky. It was a prophetic build-up to what's going to happen. When everything went wrong, heaven saw you, anointed one. God saw every night you couldn't sleep, every prayer that went unanswered, and every time you wondered if you were still chosen. Silence that seemed like nothing was really a plan. What seemed like a delay turned out to be divine progress. I know you thought you were losing, but God was building a base for the blessing that is now on its way to you. That's why you had to be it. You had to be tested on your strength. Not to see where you were weak, but to see how strong you were. God doesn't test people who are done. He checks out people before putting them forward. That walk through the woods wasn't a punishment. You had to show what you could do. You were learning how to control the kind of glory that breaks curses passed down from generation to generation and calls for supernatural abundance. This is true for me because I've been through that silence before. I've prayed prayers that seemed to hit the ceiling and then fall back down. But now that I look back, I can see how God used every closed door to lead me to the one He had planned to open. That's what's going on in your life. Picked one. What looked like loss before is about to be shown to be a divine transfer. God is using everything you went through as proof that your faith made you worthy of the inheritance that is now being given to you. You're now in the season of divine change. The last person will be first and the first person will be last. Things are looking up for you now. Heaven's resources are changing from taking too long to getting things done to having an endless supply. You did more than just pass a test. You started a transfer. The fire that tried to burn you has cleaned your hands so that you can receive wealth, power, and spiritual authority that won't change your heart. Chosen one, you have been given the rare gift of being able to carry wealth without being cocky and to walk in power without being proud. That's why God checked your intentions before letting you do miracles. He had to make sure that your heart could handle all of it. Don't worry. The more is coming now that you've shown promise with little. The resources are already moving. The people are already assigned and the chances are already lined up. What happens when obedience meets God's timing is about to be shown to you. Your faith is money in heaven's economy and the time to cash it in is now. The time of year you thought would destroy you has now become the way to your progress. Even though it was hard, you passed and are now more popular than ever. The sky is opening up. The transfer of wealth has already begun. You are in the middle of a divine alignment. Now that you've passed the hardest test, chosen one, heaven is moving things around you. What once fought against you is now getting ready to accept you. The doors that used to keep you out are now swinging open. Not because you forced them to, but because your spirit finally has the power to walk through them. Where you used to be is not where you are now. The air around you feels different now that you're in blessed territory. Even though you can't see it yet, your name is already ringing in rooms where people are talking about your goal. This isn't making things up. This is a divine arrangement, one who has been chosen. The wilderness was never meant to last forever. It was meant to help you learn to be smart. You had to learn how to hear God's voice above the noise. How to walk by faith instead of fear. And how to see spiritually when nothing in the natural made sense. Those nights alone and those quiet times weren't wasted. They were the place where you learned. Now that you've graduated, heaven is ready to praise your hard work. Not only will there be a financial breakthrough, but there will also be a foundational one. God can now trust you with extra money because you've shown that you can handle spiritual wealth, peace that can't be bought, clarity that can't be shaken, and joy that doesn't fade. You are getting divine resources again, but this time they are not for vanity, but for vision. You'll build things that other people could only dream of. People who didn't believe in you before will be blessed by you. And your very presence will be proof of God's faithfulness. I understand how it feels to wait. At times, all I had left was faith. My prayers didn't seem to be heard. And hope seemed like a distant echo. The change did come quickly, though. It only took days to line up. Things that took years to build. What seemed impossible at first became easy. That's what's going to happen to you, chosen one. You made it through the hidden season. You are now in the revealed one. So don't worry about the sudden speed up. People, chances, and tools that will help you succeed are already taking steps toward you. Right now is a divine time for you. The time has come for you. This is your Kairos moment. You have been faithful and God has seen it and is openly rewarding you for it. Every act of obedience has been like a seed and now the harvest is starting to grow. You were never put to the test to show God how valuable you are. It was to show how valuable God is through you. You did everything right to pass. That's why you're about to see something that not many people ever see. God's favor that no one can explain and no enemy can stop. The deal on a spiritual level is done. The moving has begun. Chosen one. Heaven is changing things to help you now that you've passed the hardest test. What was once against you is now getting ready to welcome you. The doors that turned you down before are now wide open. It's not because you worked harder, but because your spirit has grown into divine authority. You have now entered holy ground. The air around you has changed. It feels lighter, more free, and full of destiny. Even though you can't see it yet, your name is being talked about by angels in places you haven't been. This isn't making up stories. This is God's plan coming together. Anointed one, the wilderness was never meant to hurt you. It was meant to teach you. It wasn't being rejected. It was a step up. You had to learn how to hear God's voice in the storm and trust. Even when everything around you said, give up. You had to learn to trust God instead of seeing. Heaven used those lonely nights, times of prayer in silence, and other times you felt like you were wasting time as your classroom. Every delay taught you how to be smart. Every disappointment made you a better person. Every breakup made you less reliant on other people so that God could fill you with His Spirit. You are now a graduate. Heaven is standing to praise your strength. The next big thing isn't just about money. It's about mastery as well. People trust you with peace that can't be bought, clarity that can't be shaken, and joy that doesn't depend on what's going on. God can now trust you with material wealth because you've been good with spiritual wealth. You are getting divine resources again, but this time they are not for vanity, but for vision. You will build what other people could only dream of. People who made fun of your faith will be blessed. People in the past could only pray about the doors you will walk through. Your life will show that being obedient still pays off. I'm used to that time of year. There were times when I felt like my prayers were not being answered and my hope was being heard but not seen. But the shift happened quickly. It didn't crawl. It hit each other. It only took days to do what I thought would take years. In that way, divine timing works. Slowly getting ready, then quickly speeding up. That's what's going to happen to you, chosen one. The hidden season is over, and now the revealed season is here. So, don't question how fast things are going. Don't question the blessings that are following you around. There are already the right people, doors, and provisions going in the right direction. At this very moment, the time heaven has been waiting for you to be ready has come. As people obeyed, God saw everything that they did. Your tears were like seeds. And now the harvest is coming up through the ground. You were never meant to prove your worth to God. Chosen one. He already knew how valuable you were. It was a way for him to show how valuable you are. You did well on the hardest test. That's why you're about to see something very few people ever see. A divine promotion that no one can explain and no enemy can stop. The spiritual books have been turned over. Everything is done with the deal. The moving has begun. Your name has been let out of heaven and now nothing can stop. What's going to happen? You have been chosen and this is the season of the visible reward. Heaven has already said it will happen. Now is the time for what was hidden to come out. The promise has been inside you quietly for a long time. Now it will start to speak out loud in your life. Everything that seemed to be taking too long was just starting to form. It seemed like every dream that was buried was getting deeper roots. Now that sprouting season is here, what used to feel like a desert will soon be full of fruit. Anointed One, this is where faith shows itself. What are you about to see when invisible obedience meets visible manifestation? Ideas that used to only live in prayer will now bring about provision. People will like the work you did behind closed doors. Your plans are being breathed on by heaven, which is also increasing your resources and power. Things that used to take years will happen in days because it's speeding things up. You are no longer looking for blessings. They are after you. Don't be surprised when chances come up that match what you really want. God has been changing your hunger, shaping your vision, and polishing your character so that when plenty comes your way, you won't get lost in it. Remember that wealth without a reason for being becomes pressure. But wealth with a purpose turns into power. Now you are taking on that power. Soon the hands that shook with lack will have more than enough. And blessing other people won't drain you. It will make you bigger. I've seen it for myself. There was a time when I gave because I didn't have enough money to pay my next bill. Still, each act of giving was a sign of trust. And one day, the tide changed quickly instead of slowly. I found out that heaven doesn't react to fear. Faith makes it work. There are times when God gives you plenty that make you feel humble and amazed at the same time. That's what's going to happen to you, chosen one. Your story is about to go from endurance to proof. People who used to feel sorry for you will now look into you. They'll want to know how you got through being hurt, being alone, and losing someone you cared about. It will be easy for you to answer. When nothing made sense, I put my trust in God. That's real wealth. The kind that can't be taken away. But God is giving you material riches now because you've shown that you can be trusted with spiritual riches. Dear Anointed One, walk carefully but with confidence. Don't look for approval. You already have God's blessing. Don't worry about being seen. Your modesty is your shield. Keep your focus on prayer and everything else will fall into place. The move has already begun. It's just walking into manifestation for you as the chosen one. The battle was very tough because the blessing is so big. You're not getting back what you lost. You are getting something good for how you dealt with the loss. Heaven wants you to be faithful, and being faithful always brings good things. Prepare. The next door that opens will not close again, and your name is being talked about by the gods. Chosen one, you stand on the edge of revelation, a divine showing that is written into your fate. The things that are about to happen are not by chance. It proves something. Heaven is letting everyone know about what was grown in private. The oil you worked for in the dark through tears, letting go and silent obedience is about to shine with a power that can't be denied. Every delay was a divine lesson. Every door that shut was a new path. Heaven changed your coordinates with every disappointment. The Lord is saying it's time. Step into the stage. I've been preparing behind the scenes. Unnoted one. Even now the spiritual atmosphere around you is shifting. You've ascended in frequency. Your faith has elevated your vibration to match divine order. The unseen world recognizes it. That's why favor is beginning to find you without striving. Why people perceive something different about you even before you speak. You've been given dominion over the very storms that once defeated you. The fear that used to control you no longer has a voice. And the same darkness that tried to drown you now backs away at your presence. You've crossed from endurance into empowerment. You're not fighting for breakthrough anymore. You're living in it. But listen carefully, chosen one. Elevation is not a finish line. It's a new assignment. The reward for faithfulness isn't comfort. It's responsibility. The next level is not just about what you'll receive, but what you'll release. Heaven is now trusting you with kingdom influence. The wealth, the wisdom, the connections coming your way are not given for luxury but for legacy. You are called to build what others will live from. You will birth ideas that heal nations, carry words that ignite faith in weary hearts, and create systems that glorify God in every sphere you touch. Your life itself has become a message, a living sermon written in the language of grace, perseverance, and divine resilience. I know this moment because I've lived it. There was a season when loss covered me like a cloak, when everything I loved seemed to vanish at once. But later I understood nothing was stolen. It was all sound. The friendships that ended made room for covenant connections. The rejection that broke me rerouted me toward purpose. Every no I cried over was actually protection dressed in disguise. When God said, "Not yet," He wasn't withholding. He was perfecting. And when the shift finally came, it was sudden. Glory replaced grief. Alignment replaced confusion, and joy returned like the morning. The same will happen for you, chosen one. Heaven is paying you back in divine proportion. The season of loss has expired. Multiplication has begun. So prepare your heart not for survival but for stewardship. The blessing ahead will require structure. God is increasing your capacity, and that means you must manage more, influence more, and give more. Not as a burden but as an honor. Don't fear the overflow. Embrace it with gratitude. Stay humble. Stay prayerful. Stay aligned. You've proven that faith is not a feeling. It's a choice. That choice has rewritten your destiny. Chosen one. You are walking in divine rhythm. Now heaven and earth agree on your assignment. The angels sent to deliver your breakthrough have gone before you. The promises that once whispered are about to row. This is your moment of manifestation. The flow is open. The transfer is active. And the evidence is already on its way. Chosen one. You've reached the stage where heaven's promises begin to materialize before your eyes. You're no longer waiting for signs. You are the sign. The light that radiates from your life now speaks louder than any testimony. You could tell. You've become living proof that what God starts, He finishes. Every scour you carry is a seal of endurance, a reminder that divine purpose always survives the storm. You're not just stepping into abundance. You're stepping into alignment where your calling, your gifts, and your provision finally meet in perfect harmony. A noted one, this is the moment where you must protect your peace with the same passion you once protected your dreams. The greater the elevation, the quieter you must become. Not everyone can access the frequency you now operate in. The silence you once hated has now become your sanctuary. That's where heaven speaks. That's where divine instructions are whispered. Instructions that will guide you through this next phase of overflow. In this season, God isn't just blessing you with things. He's entrusting you with blueprints. You'll begin to receive divine strategies, creative ideas, business directions, sudden inspiration that feels like revelation. Pay attention to those nudges. Write them down. Heaven is now partnering with you to build something generational. You've proven you can handle the wilderness. Now you'll be trusted to handle wealth. And remember, wealth isn't just money. It's wisdom, influence, creativity, and the authority to shift atmospheres wherever you go. I've seen this shift happen before. When I finally stopped asking when and started saying thank you, the floodgates opened. What I once prayed for began to chase me. Opportunities appeared where I had only seen obstacles. That's what happens when your inner posture aligns with heaven's timing. You don't chase, you attract. You don't strive, you flow. Chosen one. That's the rhythm you're entering now. Divine ease born from divine trust. But be careful not to confuse ease with passivity. This is a working season, a building season, a sowing season. The transfer you're stepping into will multiply according to how you steward it. Keep your heart clean, your motives pure, and your focus heavenward. Don't let pride creep in disguised as confidence. The same humility that carried you through the fire will sustain you through the favor. Anointed one. The old cycles have ended. The warfare that once surrounded your name has been silenced. The oil on your life has matured and you've become untouchable by what used to shake you. That's the mark of divine growth. Not the absence of challenges, but the presence of unshakable peace in the middle of them. Chosen one, heaven is smiling on you now. The angels that once defended you in battle are now preparing your platform of influence. Every step you take from here carries eternal significance. The shift is irreversible. The blessing is sealed. The promise is live. You have entered your ordained flow. Nothing can stop it now. Chosen one, as you continue walking in this divine elevation, remember your story has shifted from survival to stewardship. The wilderness season is behind you. You are no longer fighting for ground. You are governing it. Every prayer whispered in faith. Every moment you chose surrender over control. Every time you kept walking when it made no sense. Those were not wasted moments. They were spiritual transactions staking claim to unseen territory. Now God is handing you the keys to that land. This is the season where hidden inheritance becomes visible possession, where the unseen becomes undeniable. What you once prayed for in tears, you will now hold in your hands with joy. The promises you carried are maturing into harvest. Heaven is calling you to reap, anointed one. This is not the time to shrink or slow down. This is the time to stretch. God is expanding your capacity in wisdom, in resources, in reach. You're not being elevated for comfort, but for commission. The blessings being released over you are not trophies. They are tools. You'll begin to notice divine assignments appearing in places that once felt ordinary. Conversations that turn into breakthroughs. Doors that open without effort. People who are drawn to the peace you carry. Your presence itself has become a ministry. You are a walking sanctuary, a living conduit of heaven's grace. But with this new authority comes balance. Move with boldness, but never forget your roots. Walk in power, but guard your purity. Influence is a sacred trust, not a crown of ego. Stay anchored in the humility that sustained you when no one was watching. Let your actions speak where your words once had to. The oil on your life doesn't need marketing. It carries its own announcement. Those who are meant to find you will be led by the light you carry. I've witnessed what happens when favor multiplies. It attracts both admiration and opposition. But don't waste energy defending what heaven has already validated. When God endorses you, human approval becomes unnecessary. The same people who once dismissed you will now have to witness your ascension in silence. Keep your focus. Keep your integrity. Let your results speak louder than your explanations. When you are truly chosen, the proof becomes undeniable. Chosen one, this next chapter is not just about blessing. It's about legacy. You're being positioned to build something that outlives you. Businesses that create opportunity. Ministries that heal nations. Messages that awaken souls long asleep. You've carried too much fire to live a small life. The intensity of your past pain was never random. It was proportionate to the weight of your purpose. Every tear watered a field of destiny. Every loss cleared space for legacy. Your breakthrough isn't just for you. It's a blueprint for others who will rise after you. Don't be surprised when those who once rejected you return seeking your wisdom. They'll recognize something in you that can't be fabricated. Peace that money can't buy. Stability that storms can't shake. When they ask how you made it, tell them the truth. It wasn't ambition. It was alignment. It wasn't striving. It was surrender. It was learning to trust the unseen hand. When everything visible was falling apart. A noted one. Your glow is not luck, it's legacy. Your peace is not coincidence, it's evidence. You've become a vessel of divine order in a world of chaos. The favor that surrounds you now isn't fleeting. It's generational. Walk in it boldly but wisely. You've passed the test, received the mantle and been given the assignment. Build what heaven placed in your hands. Bless what heaven placed around you and become everything heaven saw in you from the start. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Chosen one. This is the moment heaven has been shaping you for since the beginning. You've walked through the fire and now you carry the flame. The very tests that once made you question your worth have become the evidence of your divine calling. You're no longer standing in expectation of a breakthrough. You are the breakthrough. Every scar, every sleepless night, every prayer whispered in secret has turned into oil upon your life. The presence of God upon you will be undeniable. Where confusion once clouded your path, clarity will reign. Where there was lack, there will be divine overflow. Where there was silence, there will be songs of victory rising from your spirit. Anointed One. God didn't bring you to this threshold just to leave you at the doorway. You've crossed over. The wilderness is behind you. Every delay has been redeemed. Every loss recalculated into divine blessing. You've stepped into supernatural alignment. That sacred place where heaven and earth finally agree on your purpose. The trials you endured weren't signs of abandonment. They were the final pruning before fruitfulness. You've been refined to carry glory publicly without losing your humility. And now you are about to walk into partnerships, wealth transfers, and creative opportunities that were hidden until this exact hour. Nothing around you is coincidence. It's all divine choreography. You'll begin to sense a divine ease replacing old anxiety. What once required force will now flow freely. The striving is over because your spirit and heaven are moving in rhythm. Doors will open not because you knocked harder but because your spiritual frequency has changed. Heaven recognizes your sound. Now when you speak, creation responds. When you decree, it manifests. Angels are moving on assignment with your name written on their orders. Favor will follow you like a shadow, and peace will guard your steps. The atmosphere itself will testify that you've been marked by fire and molded for glory. I remember reaching this place myself. The moment when years of pain suddenly made perfect sense. I looked back and realized every loss, every heartbreak, every delay had been positioning me for divine acceleration. What once felt like detours were actually routes designed by grace. When it all finally aligned, it happened quickly. Not because I was ready, but because heaven decided it was time. And that's what's coming for you, chosen one. A divine unveiling that will leave you in holy awe. You'll stand in the middle of your answered prayers, unable to explain how it happened, except to say, God did it. Soon you'll look around and see visible evidence of invisible faith. The people entering your life will carry purpose. The opportunities coming will sustain you, not drain you. The abundance flowing will not just fill your hands. It will empower your mission. Heaven has moved you from the classroom of testing to the platform of testimony. You are no longer the same person who entered the furnace. You've become the vessel heaven always saw when God first called your name. Chosen one, from this day forward, walk with confidence wrapped in humility. Let gratitude be the language of your heart. Keep sowing into others, for your overflow is meant to circulate, not stagnate. You are not a container of blessing. You are a channel of divine flow. The more you release, the more God pours through you. You were never chosen just to receive. You were chosen to release. So lift your head high. Breathe deeply and know this truth. The test is over. The refining complete. And the manifestation has begun. You passed heaven's hardest test the right way. Now walk boldly into your overflow. Heaven's gates are open and your name is being called. This is your time. Step into it. Chosen one. This is your Kairos moment. The appointed time heaven wrote for you before the foundations of the world. You have passed the hardest test and heaven has marked you approved. The shaking is over. The refining is complete. Now comes the revealing. What was withheld is being released. What was delayed is being delivered. The divine transfer is not coming. It is here. Anointed One, lift your head and breathe in this truth. You are standing under an open heaven. The same fire that once tested you is now the light guiding your steps. You've been trusted with pain. Now you will be trusted with power. You've been faithful with little. Now God is entrusting you with much. The grace that carried you through the wilderness will now crown you in abundance. Walk forward with holy confidence. Stay humble. Stay aligned. Stay expectant, because every seed you planted in tears is about to bloom in divine timing. You are not chasing miracles. You are walking in them. You are not waiting for favor. You are surrounded by it. Chosen One. If this word resonates in your spirit, seal it by declaring "I receive" in the comments. Subscribe to stay connected with this flow of revelation and share this message so others may awaken too. Your breakthrough is not ahead. It's unfolding now. Heaven calls you ready. Go forth in power, peace, and glory. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart. And as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.